Okay, we'll call the law enforcement meeting to order. We have one present except for Bill Anderson. I haven't heard from him. Mr. Brown, do you want to say first?
The question now becomes the name of Jesus. Most of all, Father, saying thank you for another day. We thank you, God, you have brought us together once more again on this side of this church. My prayer this evening, Father, that you would continue to hold us together. Father, that we make the right decision in order for an county to move forward. And God, we want to thank you for the sick and the shed. Don't forget about it. That's for right now. I know you have the power in your hand. And just ask you right now, Father, send by us. In your name we pray. Amen.
First item is approval of the September 21st, 2021 law enforcement committee minutes.
I make that motion.
Second. And a second, all in favor, say aye. Under reports, the first one will be animal control.
I have nothing to add or change to the report, but to follow up on the vehicle that was down, it is still down. We picked it up from the mechanic that was supposed to be working on it, found out that the business, it was going out of business, so we had to pick the vehicle up, and we had Mark look at it. He had it working the weekend, then we had it sitting for one day and it stopped working, couldn't get it to jump off. So we took it to a new mechanic and they haven't looked at it yet. It's been there since Thursday. And unfortunately, the new vehicle we purchased last year, the power wall went out. So it's still under warranty, but we did have to take that back to Ford to get that fixed. So, but right now we have 2 working vehicles. Still waiting on one Ford.
We found it hard for Brian and myself worked on it. One, the winch, had a winch in the back of it, lifted the crates up and down. It was under power all the time, but it didn't work. And so we disconnected that and the radio on it was staying hot all the time. So we moved it to where it operated off the ignition switch. Let it set for 2 days, fire right up, running like a charm. She gets it back one day, and 6 days dead.
Bad luck.
I don't know.
I don't know what's wrong.
We'll figure it out.
Any questions for animal control? Next will be the sheriff, jail workhouse, drug task force.
All right. Greg, I thought I was always in good.
All right, Sheriff.
Been around Sylvia too. Well, I know y'all got our activity report. Thing I guess jumps out at me most of that is the mileage. Usually, it's even higher than what it usually is. Assuming that's correct, that's 2,700 miles a day, so that's one vehicle wore out in 1 month. It's okay, we can't get any anyway, so. We could have $1 million right now, we can't get $1 million.
That's not our fault.
No, I know. The court docket, in the month of September, there was 1,559 on the docket. There were actually 2,013 that were in attendance. I don't know what they're gonna do when it gets cold, because, I mean, they were just standing outside waiting to get worked in. And it's gonna be tough when it gets cold on some of those busy days, but I mean, it is what it is. The drug task force report for September 30 investigations. It's usually the same, crystal meth or ice and marijuana and drugs that, that were involved in these investigations. A total of 18 firearms were seized, 38 defendants, and 1 vehicle was seized by the drug task force. Yes, I think y'all got everything else unless you, have any questions. I will elaborate a little bit on Commissioner Vick, and we are going to be there Thursday because it's a large number of school teachers as well as many elected officials. And we're planning on having about 5 officers there for, hopefully not, thinking we'll need them for security, but just in case. So we will be, and I'm going to notify the city police to let them know what's going on, not to get them necessarily out there, but just to let them know what's going on, since it is inside the city limits.
Oh, Sheriff, I went last year to this thing called FACCT, Livestock Training 911 thing. It was really good. I went because nobody would go at Farm Bureau, so I volunteered to go through Farm Bureau, but it was mostly law enforcement officers. I stayed till lunch and I left, but it was all about, I mean, it was really good because it was about livestock getting out, some land disputes and livestock getting out, dead animals, and so forth and so on. So I've got the information, and I highly encourage if anybody can go to it, to go. It was in Franklin last year.
In Spring Hill.
Where,
Spring Hill.
Spring Hill.
But I didn't know anything, and I learned a whole bunch, but the rest of the afternoon was gonna be a panel discussion, and I knew I wouldn't have anything to add to that, so, but everybody there except me were law enforcement.
That is, we answer a lot of calls, obviously, with cows in the road and getting out and this person hitting on that person. You know, it was interesting, when I first took office in 2014, it was all horses. Everybody was talking about horses. Horses are starving. And we did a lot of investigations. Like at that time, John Teague was part of, he helped out a lot, did it.
Don't we have a committee now, or sign, what, do we?
I don't know.
No, I'm not aware of. We deal a lot with, the state veterinary's office. They kind of took over those investigations, and then, the Department of Agriculture, we have an agent, Michael Wade, I was actually talking to yesterday about another, case of animals at large, so we work with them quite a bit too.
But there is a lot of calls.
I'm just offering some, I'm not going back.
Send Janice, Nick.
Maybe that's good as I.
Yeah. Any other questions? Sure. Next is EMA.
I don't have anything else to add, to what we had submitted. I will say that, we had a nice weekend this past weekend at the local craft fair. So I talked with, for the ones that know her, Jeannie Hunt, was once the mayor at Bell Buckle. She felt like that was probably the biggest crowd, for a Saturday they'd had since the craft fair had started. Sunday was a little slower. So we're gonna sit down with them next week, I think, and we're gonna look at options or what some of the things that we can, make things better. But traffic was an issue, I'm sure everybody heard that. Not a lot of options there, but we're gonna look at it and see what we can do, to help them. Of course, the weather didn't help much the night before. It rained, took about 20% of the parking away. So, we had a lot of people circling town, trying to find a spot. So, but all in all, it was a good weekend and no major concerns that happened.
Any questions? Okay. Juvenile detention.
I don't have anything additional to add to my report, unless you guys have questions for me.
Any questions?
Thank you.
Probation.
Nothing to add to the report that you have, other than last week was probably our biggest week of court. I believe we picked up 79 people in 1 week, so that's a pretty big week for us.
We need a motion to approve the reports as presented.
So moved.
Second. Motion and second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Approval of reports, department reports are September. All right, any old business to come before the meeting? New business.